Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now the other day I got a question from one of you viewers out there asking me if I can play games on an Intel GMA graphics card. Well, today we're going to find out. So we put together an Intel Celeron based motherboard bundle here that features GMA 3100 graphics, which, as I'm sure you know, aren't really capable of running, well, anything, and if you try to run modern games on it you'll probably experience an error message that tells you that you don't have the correct shader version or your T&L hardware shader isn't up to par, something like that. So we've taken a couple of AAA modern games and tried to get them running on this setup. As you can see, we've got it hooked up to our TV in what is probably the most ghetto looking setup that you've seen in a while. I've just got things balanced on my GTX 1060 box and PlayStation 4 here. Probably the first time I've used my PS4 for anything in quite a while, to be honest. So at first I thought we could go with 1GB of RAM and the Celeron E1200, but it turns out that I had to upgrade that in order to get anywhere near playable frame rates even after we applied the tweak. So I went with the E7400 Core 2 Duo. And we've also got a nice healthy 2GB of DDR2 RAM in there as well. So with all that said and done, let's try and run some games. Now, as I'm sure you know, older games like Vice City, things like that, older games from that sort of time frame will run okay on these GMA graphics, providing that it doesn't require anything higher than DirectX 9. But then again, that would be too easy, and as per the viewer's request, we just had to try out some more demanding titles. So let's get into it. So we tried out a couple of games that were mentioned in the email to me. First up's Fallout 3, and in order to get these to run, I found a Steam guide directing me to direct3d9.dol, also known as Swift Shader. Dropping this single file into your game directory will allow these games to run, and this is the little tactic I used for each one. So Fallout 3 actually ran at 640 by 480 with tweaked INI settings and Swift Shader added to the directory with the lowest preset, and pretty much everything else disabled in the config files as well, but we were only able to achieve 13 FPS. Next up, we tried the notoriously demanding GTA 4 with an extremely low graphics mod, and we had to turn the resolution down to 320 by 240. Surprisingly though, this allowed us to achieve 28 frames per second, so I'm going to keep my eyes on this one. As you can see, when we go outside here, the whole screen went dark, but I'm sure there's probably other tweaks we can make to this game in order to play it with these low-end integrated graphics. And it was pretty clear by this point we weren't getting anywhere, but we decided to try Dirt 3, which unfortunately didn't run at all and just got stuck on an infinite loading loop. So guys, I think we'll leave it there. Now, whilst the Intel GMA 3100 graphics aren't the only old school Intel onboard graphics out there, they are definitely among the worst, and you probably won't be able to play many modern titles, but as I said, games like Vice City, other GTA games and games from that certain era will probably run fine. As for the games I showed you like GTA, they're using that little workaround which was Swift Shader. If I do manage to find out a way in order to make that run well, I'll definitely bring you guys an updated video. But for now, and to the guy that asked me that question, can you game on GMA 3100 graphics? Yes, you can if you plan on playing older games, but when it comes to those newer titles, no matter how many tweaks you want to apply, it might be a little bit tricky, at least on GMA graphics anyway. As for other integrated graphics, as you know, you probably will have no problem should you want to turn down your resolution and tweak the game settings a little bit. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one.